Hi, welcome back. In this quick tutorial, I'll walk you through the Axure RP environment, showing you the different parts and what you can use them for. Let's start with the top here. So the top here is called the main toolbar and style toolbar. And then in this area is the Canva area, or you can also call it the working area. This is the place where you'll be doing all your stuff in terms of whatever project you are working on. To get widget here is mainly drag and drop from the library. So anything you are designing, you just drag and drop from the library. We'll come back here, but for the benefit of explaining these two, I'll just drag something here. Let's pick these two. Now, once none of these are selected, you realize that most of the items here are grayed out. Once I select, they become active. So then I can work on them. So let's say that I want to change the color of this one. Background color, I can just click here, and then let's say I wanted to increase the border, I can do that. The border has been increased. If I want to change the border color, I can again use this one. Let's say that I want these two to be on the same aligned. I can easily pick them together, and then from here you can distribute them horizontally in the middle, for example. Immediately they get aligned. So that's and is one reason why some of these are disabled. Now back here, so you have the file where you can create a new project, open from an existing one or recently used project, save with a new name, import an existing one, also create a team project from here. You can even also sort of download or export your project as images as well. And here nothing much, just few things. And then view here allows you, for example, here you realize that I have some grid showing. I can look at that, and more probably this one, the pane shows you these ones. So if I wanted to, let's say, hide pages, I can then, if I have no use for them, or the note which is here, we will come back to that. If I don't want to show it, I can uncheck, and no, you see that it's no more showing there, but I want it, so I will just go back and then click, and now it's visible. You can also move them anyhow you want. You can also customize the main toolbar. If there are some features that you don't want, you can hide them. As you can see, you can do a lot with these ones. And then of course, as I already mentioned, if I have this one here, and let's say I pick this one, I can then here maybe arrange some tests or anything in the middle like that, aligned. So there's a couple of things you can do. And then the project, let's say I'm doing a specific project and the customer have a specific style guide. I can program that one right here. So from here I can define, let's say, what is header one, if what kind of font family are they using, if it's Lato, I can just set it up here so that anytime, for example, now I put it to Lato and then I click OK. So if I drag header one here, you see that already it comes with the Lato. So these are things, and let's say that for this project, every header one should have a specific color. Let's say this color, blue, and then I save that one. So okay, that was the background. So let's go back and maybe not the fill color. So that one, we are not doing that one. But the font color here. So you can then set it that way and then click OK. So let me just take this one out, pick another header. Oh, did I still pick wrong one? Let's go back. Okay, so this didn't save, so let me change that one to, was it nothing? So we are not saving anything there. And of course, check that the color. So this needs to be checked, and then we need to select blue. So now background is transparent, and then we have the font color to be this. Font size, you can change it anything. So, and then click OK. So anytime I'm dragging this one, is then always going to be blue. So that's the enough about this area. Let's just clear this area. Now the next part I want to take you to is the pages. Most important, because for Axure RP, files are arranged in pages. So let's assume that I'm creating 2 pages of maybe an app where the front page is just an empty thing or something. So first of all, once this is selected, I can click here and then decide what kind of, so I'm creating a mobile app, so I'll just say maybe this one, and immediately you see it gives me that session what I can use it for. But first, let's see how to create a page, remove or add or edit the name. So I have one page and I want to create a second page. Once this is selected and I click here, I'm adding the second page. I can change the name. Let's say list of services. And then if I want to edit this one, I can right click and say rename and say home page, for example. So I have 2 pages now. Maybe this one still have some sub pages, or even this one. From the home page, maybe I want to create login or something. So once it's selected again, okay, let's just add, and then I'll just put here login. If I want this one to be a subset, a sub page under that one, I'll simply drag, and then once the line is on this, I'll just release it, and that's it. Let's say that I have multiple pages and I want to group them into folders. I'll just click here, folder, and again, you realize that it came here because this was selected. Let me just delete it. Right click, delete, or just hit the delete on your keyboard. So if I want it to be on the same line as this one, I can select this one and create the folder. So now you see that it's different. And then if I want to drag all of these to be a subset of the folder, this and that. So you realize that now all of them are under the folder. So that's how to, again, if I select this and I click here, I have a page which is in the same line. If I realize that this page needs to be indented or under this one, I can drag and drop or just right click on it and say move as indent. That's it. So this is how to, if I want to delete a page, I'll just click delete or just hit the delete on your keyboard. So that is how to add or arrange your folders here. Now back to what we started. So on this page, let's say that I want to design one page, and then okay, let's put a button here. And maybe I'll just put even a gray button, not this one. So let's put a gray. Let's see, there's already a gray button. No, so I have put this button here, and then I'll fill it with a gray like that. And maybe I don't want the border, so I'll just hide the border. And then for this button, so this is also one powerful aspect of the Axure. So you can give multiple actions on this one, but we will come back to that because I will do a complete prototyping and then we will look at it. But for now, this is, if I want to add an interaction, I'll just click here, and then on this interaction area, I'll be able to give. So now we've gone through this one. The library already, by now you have an idea, is where you have all your widgets that you are dragging and dropping to use as a for your design. we'll again have a separate session where we are looking at how to build or download even more widget for this area. So by default, you have common ones that you normally use. You have the dynamic ones. You have the form related widget. You have menus and table related widget. You have markup widget and more. But if you click here and you have also added your own, you'll be able to see them. In my case, for example, I have something like corner related icons. I also have something like IBM related widget, and we will look at this as a separate session. Here on the component side are the part of your application that is consistent on every page. For example, if you take a website, the footer is always consistent. Headers are mostly also consistent in most of the pages. So that aspect of your application can be designed here once, and then you add them to the different pages, so that once they are, you edit them, you need to make a change, you do one change and it affects all the places at one time. So that is the essence. Previously this was called masters, and now they've named it as component. And then this area is the style. So if I put anything here and I want to give it a style, that is the area. So for example, I put this button here, I select it. Now from here, if I wanted to change, of course, the same thing we did here, most of them can be done here as well. From here, I can change the font. So let's say this one, I want to change it to this like that. Font size, the position, color. Okay, now it's filled with this one. Maybe I want to even use a more lighter one. So, and then even I want to give it a little bit of shadow like that one. Could be normal or low. Yeah, basically you could do a lot with this area. Then in the interaction is the part where you're putting actions on this button. So what do I want with this? First thing, I want to add style. When I mouse over, I want the background to change. So let's click here and say on mouse over, what do we want to see? We want the color to be, of course, you need to select here, to be changed to blue. And then we want the font. So we've changed that one. Then we want the font color to be also white. So that is the, okay, let's select. So we've added first interaction on this one. And then at the same time, when I click on it, I also want this button to take me to this page, list of services. So let's do that. I'll say that on click. Of course, you can already click here. On click, open this page. So once you click on this, it will take you to that page. Now we've added two things. So let's preview this. If I click here, it's opening in my other. So this is it. This is the preview. Now we mouse over, you see the color changes. And then when we click, it takes us to the list of services page. We didn't put anything there, so that's why it's empty. Now let's go back and try to put something quickly on that page. Let's say that I just want to drag and drop some images here. I can actually just go back to my download and just pick a few images there. So let's say that I want this image here. Resize it here. And then maybe for now, I'm just going to place some dummy placeholders here. Control and then drag, and then you are able to do that. I can select both and then with control drag it to copy. So let's say that this is what I have done. And then on the first page, I just want to put something more fancier. So let's do this one. Also here, of course, you can always put some this and then use it to do this as well. I'm trying to get this the way. Okay, so let's take it this way. This is okay. Now you realize that the button is below it. Again, I can select it and from here send back, and then the button is now up. And then I don't want the other part of it, so I can easily sort of crop this one if I want to. Move this here, and okay, I just made it. So let's do it again. Crop that way and that way. So I can just Control C to copy or to cut, or Control X. Now I've cut that one. I will delete this and paste back what I was cutting, and then again send it back. So this is the front page, and then once I'm clicking on this, I want it to go here. So let's try it again. So this is the front page. If I mouse over, you see, and then I click on it, and it's taking me to the second page. Oh, some stuff I'm missing here. The dummy items did not show up. So let's see, was there something missing there? Was it supposed to be saving before? Okay. So the dummy ones are not showing. Maybe we will just ignore that for now, because there will be a complete prototype on these things. But for now, you know, this is the main toolbar. You have here your pages, which you will use to structure your project. I didn't talk about this one. So this is the outline. Helps you to, for example, create all your content on one page. Supposing I didn't want to create this as a second page, but I want this to be on the same page as this one. All that I need to do, select the whole of this, what I have here, right click on it and say that make this a dynamic panel. So once I put this as a dynamic panel, this becomes state 1. And then I can, once you click here, you see state 1. I can actually take it as home. And then I can from here then add another state, which is maybe listen or service, or is it services? Let's put it as services. So in this case, I don't have 2 pages. I have only 1 page, and I'm building the 2 pages inside that one. So from here, once I'm clicking on this button, now I will need to change this one. So I'll delete this and say that once I'm clicking on click, okay, maybe not a condition, but let's put it interaction. So on click, or is it already here? So on click, all that I want to set is set the panel to a different state. Instead of state 1 or home, I want to set it to services. So click here, and then you should be able to, so then, yeah, to the dynamic panel, and here I'm setting it to the services and click OK. So once I'm clicking on this, it's now going to set me to the services. And first I need to select the dynamic panel and then save it to the services. So let's go back to the pages. So we have, I will delete this one now. We don't have that one, and maybe even delete this one. We don't need it. So now the same thing that I did earlier with 2 pages, they are all inside this one now. And again, if you click here, you should be able to even swap between these pages now. State 2, I didn't add anything yet. Let's go back there. So if I click, this is the state 2, and I can then again, let's drag something there. And with shift, you can resize this so that it's okay, and shift and then drag this one. I can then, for example, also let's take that one as enough for this session. So with this, now I can preview. And once I'm clicking on this one, it's showing me the second page. I didn't put any button here, but I can then, in this case, go back. So that's how, I hope this was helpful with the environment and then the different parts and what you can use them for. This is the library where you drag and drop things. This is the component where you do one stuff and probably add it to all the pages. This outline, now you know. Style guide or styles where you'll be able to do more with your, and then interaction and notes. Thanks for watching this session. In the next video, we will look at how to what kind of libraries you will need for your project, and then also how to create a team project. Thanks for watching.